Do kids manipulate? Well, they don't actually have the capabilities of doing that. For your child to manipulate, they would actually have to have hypothetical thinking, critical thinking, rational thinking, and impulse control. Now, our kids do not have those. Their prefrontal cortex is not developed enough. The prefrontal cortex is one of the last places to develop in the brain. It's really fascinating when you take the time to learn about child brain development. My suggestion, if you wanted to learn, would be to look at a book called The Whole Brain Child. But, however, they do have unmet needs, and all humans at all times are just trying to get their needs met. Adults included, parents included. So if your child does not feel like they are getting their needs met, then they will engage in behaviour to get those needs met, just like we do. Say, for example, you wanted you and your husband to go away on holiday to reconnect, and he just outright says no. You might cry, you might get upset, you might be really disappointed and hurt, and you might show that to him. Are you being manipulative, or are you just really struggling with the fact that you were really looking forward to that? Or maybe you go and ask your boss for a pay rise and they said no. And you feel really disappointed because you totally feel like you deserve that. Are you being manipulative when you're upset? Of course not. It's the same with our kids. They have these ideas about things that they want or that they need or things that'll make them feel really good. And when we say no and they throw themselves on the floor, they feel overwhelmed, they feel hurt, they feel disappointed. They're not trying to be manipulative. And when they do this, a lot of parents think, oh my goodness, I can't handle this. They're trying to make me feel bad. No, you're not trying to make your husband feel bad. You're simply letting out your frustration, and that's your right. Our kids are simply letting out their frustration, and that's their right. If you don't know how to deal with that frustration, it's going to be hard and it's going to be triggering. Now listen, you do not have to change your mind. You simply have to learn how to guide them through that frustration, hurt, and emotion. And often we can't get logic through to a child who is emotional. So we have to meet emotion with emotion. And the best emotion that we can meet with frustration, hurt, and anger is empathy. And what does that look like? Well, if your child is angry, you try to relate to them. You say, wow, you seem so angry and hurt. I hear you. Mummy relates to you. I remember that there was a time that I felt hurt and disappointed when I didn't get what I was really looking forward to. Mum's here if you want a hug. You know, reassure them. Let them know that emotions aren't scary. And later on, after that emotion, well after, so they've had time to process and calm down, you want to go back and say to them, you know, how were you feeling back then? What was going on for you? When you're feeling angry, what is something that mum can do to help? Now, remember, we do have to do this well after the fact. After all, if somebody brought up something that had happened that hurt you, and you weren't quite yet over your emotion, you'd probably get worked back up. So I'm talking a couple of hours, letting them settle, letting them calm down, letting them have some time to themselves. Nothing ever goes well when we force a topic onto somebody when they're not ready. Now, what could these unmet needs be? Well, there's 6 that kids and all humans actually need every single day. So start with those. They are connection, attention, appreciation, acceptance, autonomy, and attention. Did I say attention twice? Attention, connection, acceptance, appreciation, autonomy, and connection. I'm editing and I realized I got them wrong. Connection, attention, appreciation, autonomy, acceptance, and affection. I'm sure I've got them there, right? So start giving your child all of these things every single day. To bring that connection up, spend one-on-one daily time with them. Try to see the best in your child. You will have the child that you choose to see. You will have the child that you choose to point out and label them as. Children play into roles. If you are going around saying, this is my good child, you're implying that this child is not so good. That's the role that child's going to take on. If you say, this is my easy child, you're implying that that child is difficult. That's the role that that child's going to take on. So what you can do is appreciate them. Say things like, I'm so incredibly grateful for you. Don't make them work for your validation. Your love and acceptance should be there from the moment that they are born. They shouldn't have to work for that. Nobody in the history of mankind should have ever had to work for their parents' love. And if you did have to work for your parents' love, I'm sorry that you had to go through that. It wasn't fair. So the next time you think that your child is manipulating you, I want you to actually start asking yourself, what could be their unmet need? Because if you haven't met any of those or all of those 6 needs, they will find a way to get it. And the way to get it just might be that they come out of their bedroom for the 17th time that night. And that's when you hit boiling point. So you want to be very, very careful and make sure that you are giving them their needs every day. And remember, that doesn't mean you have to change your mind or fix the situation. A lot of their needs are simply that they need you to help guide them through their anger while you stay regulated, you stay calm, and you stay stable. I hope this video helped you. And yeah, I'm going to try and do more of these.